Hello, and welcome to my talk for this week. Earlier this week, I was involved in a discussion about whether or not to postpone an event in the summer. It's to involve people from all across the country and further afield. There's concern about what the COVID-19 situation will be at that time. As with many other things, the group decided it did not know the answer to that question, and no decision was made. During the conversation, an interesting point came up, something I'd not thought about. Someone said, one of the problems we'll have to face is learning how to be together again in a large group. How are we going to speak and listen to each other? As I said, it's an interesting question, which led to quite a long discussion amongst those of us involved in the conversation. As we begin to hope for an easing of restrictions, and thankfully this weekend we're going to see significant changes, what might we need to relearn? Here's a relatively simple thing. As I've mentioned before, most days Debbie and I walk around our neighborhood to complete our 10,000 steps. If we see someone coming towards us on the sidewalk, either we or they step into the road or someone's driveway to ensure that we maintain social distance. I know it's been a while since we went by the traditional manner of remaining on the sidewalk and just walking past each other. That's how we lived 2 years ago. But what will happen when, please God, we get a time when we don't have to be at least 6 feet apart or wear a mask? Will we all be comfortable with going back to the old ways? How will we know who's willing to do so? What will the new sidewalk etiquette be? The pandemic has changed many things in the way we interact as people. As we move back into what some are calling the new normal, each of us will reach conclusions about what we can and cannot tolerate. There'll be many factors which come into play. For some, it might be ongoing health conditions. For others, it could be never wanting to end up in this sort of situation again. People will be concerned about going to large gatherings, or perhaps gatherings of any size, where others will have the opposite view. As I said earlier, I didn't see this issue coming. And perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps it won't come up. But the truth is, 2 years of having to change the way we do things has been a significant disruption in our lives. Someone recently told me that he was being dropped off from his car by a family friend so that he could drive home in another vehicle. As he left the first vehicle, his immediate reaction was to put his mask on. Then he realized that as he was driving alone, there was no need to do so. Mask wearing has become second nature to many. As we progress through what we hope will be fewer restrictions, we'll probably need to think about how we're going to adapt to the changes. The virtue which God points us to in this case is grace. Grace for the other. Once again, thank you for listening this week. I trust you'll have a good week. God bless and stay safe.